Hello, my sexy, soulful Sagis. Welcome back. As you know, I'm Sachi the Scorpio, and I'm here to deliver your guided healing tarot for the month of December. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The more energy that you send to me, the more energy that I can send to you. And Sagittarius, you are 5th this month. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for all the likes. So I'm just going to hop right to it. This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. We had Kurt Cobain, okay? You know, leader of Nirvana, went hard and fast sort of energy and ended up either killing himself or getting killed by a lover, right? At least that's what they say, right? Okay, attitude, we're all in this mess together, so we may as well make some noise. You know, I love Sagittarius so much, but you guys will definitely cheers to a disaster, right? It's like, whatever, we're going down, might as well enjoy the ride, okay? Lifestyle, don't become your own tribute band. So there's this kind of like energy of don't put yourself on this pedestal while you also kind of crush it at the same time. You know, of like, you know, don't become your own tribute band is basically don't like love yourself so much, right? It's kind of like be careful of the unhealthy ego. So instead of having the unhealthy ego, will just destroy yourself. And you can't buy teen spirit. So I definitely felt some, you know, kind of teenage regressive sort of behavior coming back. Like Kurt Cobain did not give an F, right? He put a lot of unhealthy things in his body. He bleached his hair, right? That influences your crown chakra. Just really didn't care much of anything. And there has been some sort of manifestation that has not happened yet. The 8 of Wands in reverse is, you know, what is being cleansed here is cycles not repeating. There's some sort of cycle that you are breaking, and it's about what you are trying to manifest in terms of love, lust, passion, intensity, or just how you're using your magic in general. And behind it, we had the 3 of Swords, which I know you've had a couple times. This is about this loss, this heartbreak of someone leaving, possibly someone moving, and just really feeling like, you know, you can't take that. And we had the Hierophant come out behind it, which is Taurus energy. This is when you learn how to truly do your magic by a professional. The Hierophant in this deck, you know, runs the apothecary, and you go and see her and say, hey, here's my spell. Can you give me the ingredients? And she says, yeah, I do have everything you need. And also, let me tell you a little bit more about this spell and what can help it. This is about going to someone who is top dog. Hierophant, right, describes institutions for, it can be marriage, it can be some sort of union, it can be some sort of spiritual thing, right? It's definitely this authority in some sort of way to bring two powers together. And this is really, you know, the power of you communing with spirit itself, just with a little professional help. So it looks like in terms of your manifestation that is being cleansed here. We had Ralts coming out using Smack, and Ralts is like a baby Pokemon to me. So I'm really getting that this has been a smack to your third eye, like it has hurt the mental. And it has to do, I mean, we had, you know, Teen Spirit coming out, and of course the swimming baby. And there's that kind of attitude of like, yeah, we're just born kind of drowning, and that's just kind of the way it is. And it looks like that sort of attitude is being cleansed here. And there's definitely some like, you know, inner child healing going on is what I was getting. You really might be understanding how in relationships you kind of either more play a child role or a parental role. You might be considering how your inner child didn't get the love that it needed, or, you know, like things that happened to you as a child that, you know, cause you to, you know, like, hey, we're all in this mess together. We might as well make some noise. You know, let's just party our way till the end. And yeah, then behind it, we had Wonder energy in reverse. So this is really strong fairy type. And, you know, Ralts is psychic, but is also fairy. And, like, that's kind of deal-making relationships. And with Wonder energy in reverse, it feels like you're kind of like, well, it's no wonder that that is the way it is. It's like something has really hit you. This is the crown chakra. So I think that as you make some sort of change to your hair during this time, it's really going to help your crown chakra here. We are going to take a peek at Shufflemancy. We will be doing Shufflemancy all throughout this spread. I will create a Shufflemancy playlist that you will see linked below and after, but I feel like the song wants to come out. Starting us off, I have 14,000 songs because, like, I dated a Sagittarius once, you guys. Like, I love Sag energy. Y'all know. I mean, I've dated multiple Sagittariuses, but this one was a DJ. And his music is on here, and I have books on tapes on here, and most of them are philosophy, so I thought it was right up your alley. So we have Circulate using Young Jeezy, okay? So, you know, Circulate looks like it's time to circulate some energy. We got some Young Jeezy. Time to remember, you know, the recession retail. Interesting. So some of you might be kind of going in to kind of acting like a teen more because of maybe finances, how this recession has kind of hit you. Might be doing some things working in retail for some of you, but let's take a look. We're going to learn a little bit about Mr. Kurt Cobain. So, one of the last authentic rock stars, Kurt Cobain was the antithesis of all who pampered and postured demigods who preceded him. A star who loathed fame and was driven by a determination to detonate the pedestal on which he had been placed. Yeah, exactly like I said, I saw like a pedestal coming out and it just being knocked down. Like, definitely tower moments, but you're causing them yourself, it seems. Definitely it feels root chakra here with safety of the inner child. A star who served as a vocal advocate for feminism and gay rights, I did not know that, as well as old school punk integrity. His band Nirvana was a delinquent trioca of blue-collar outsiders who channeled the rage, angst, and pent-up frustrations of the disaffected, rootless generation, inflicting serious structural damage upon traditional music business and polluted the mainstream with raw power, naked emotion, and outsider chic. Few groups have blazed so brightly and burned out so fast. Yeah, so it definitely looks like you are going through some burnout, but it does look like you are going to see someone who can help how you are, you know, continuing, how your sadness is continuing to this constant manifestation. And yeah, it definitely looks like it has some inner child healing. So let's see what the next song is. Keno, the knife. So Keno is some sort of lottery. You might be working with some sort of numbers. I see the money here. So I definitely feel like numbers are kind of getting you down in the water. And yeah, so Keno is very much, yeah, you know, like a lottery game or something. But anyway, the knife. So, yeah, definitely not the best energy, I will say. Definitely not the best energy, but Sagittarius season. Happy birthday to all the Saggies out there. You know, I love you. I'm sorry that you are going through it into your season. Scorpio, you know, Venus is in Scorpio, so we are very much bound to kind of be in these deeper waters. But welcome to Sagittarius season, where we are doing the subjective perspective, right? And Sag, I doubt that you guys are going to be offended by this month, but some signs might not like this at all. Because if you can't handle a different perspective, this series, you know what I mean? All right, anyway, but so we're in your season, right? It's all about philosophy, academia, wisdom, spirituality, religion, culture, and also our luck and abundance and fun, I will say. Fun is Sagittarius for me. So, yeah, so Sag, you rule all things based on perspective, right? The subjective. And perhaps the only objective reality there is, which is that everything is subjective. And I know you guys would be like, haha, I've said that before. You know, I have a Sagittarius Mercury, so I know how it is. It's those types of philosophical nuances that we tend to really like. And it's those types of deterministic approaches to things that really shape how we see the world, right? And it makes us biased in the most innocent ways. So this season, we are going to be taking a look at what philosophy you are stuck in that is no longer serving you and how it is blocking your abundance, and your luck. And then we are going in the extended take a look at a new philosophy that you can get into that will, and then we'll look at how to help bring in your luck and abundance. And then we will also pull some oracle cards. Again, yeah, I'm going to be using this iPod. Has a lot of music from when I dated a Sagittarius DJ, and also my books on tape, which are mostly spirituality, science, theology, and ancient history and philosophy, if I didn't say that. So it really fits the tune for this month. Yeah, so we are bound to experience a little bit of culture, maybe some that you don't know, although most Sagittariuses know a lot of famous people and stuff like that. So anyway, I thought that, yes, I would bring out the musical oracles. Again, there's going to be a Shufflemancy playlist that I make that I will link with this. The extended will also be in the link in the description box below. And this spread and Shufflemancy is available during Sag season. I am booking 15 spreads at $55.55, but the first 10 people who book with me will get it at $44.44 for an $11.11 discount. So email me if you would like to book one of these, because yeah, I'm not opening. I haven't told Instagram or anything, and you guys are 5th in line. So you really get a head start if you are interested in booking with my private readings. They book up pretty fast once I put them on Instagram. So, all right, let's see here. Let's see what philosophy is no longer serving you, Sag. Whew, we have Leonard Cohen in reverse. So when it comes to art, all that matters is that you're telling your story well. And it's coming out in reverse. So it feels like, you know, you feel like if you can't put it in the most fine, philosophical, and beautiful way, then your story's not worth telling. It's very much this, like, you know, I mean, Sagittarius, y'all get so philosophical, get so deep in your wisdom of things, right? And that is understanding. Like, Pisces has inherent knowing, right? Knowing with a capital K. And, you know, Sagittarius, you have to go through your experiences to have the wisdom. So it's so fresh and so deep, right? Like, I have a Sagittarius Mercury, as I said, so I totally feel you. That's how I, you know, communicate as well. But you need to remember that even if it's not as grandiose or, you know, maybe high Latinate or as profound as you wish it to be, doesn't mean that your story isn't worth being told, okay? It says, travel lightly through the darkness, and it's in reverse. So it seems like you feel like if you're in dark times, you have to be carrying around this heavy load all the time. And that's not the case, right? You don't have to. You can go through the dark and still travel lightly, right? Because when you go through the dark, that's when you find the light, right? That's the dark night of the soul. So it does look like you're still kind of going through that dark night of the soul energy, but, you know, you like thinking that you will always have to hold on to the heaviness is where it's really failing you here, is what I'm hearing. And the inspiration is learn to live in the intervals between events. So that is in reverse. It looks like you know some sort of destination that you want to get to. I'm hearing that it's union with your twin. And, you know, it is causing you some issues where, let me drink some water. It's causing you some issues that you just want to get to the next event to get there, and you can't enjoy the time until something manifests to you, is what I heard. So I will admit to you, I had no idea who Leonard Cohen was when this came out. This came out in Scorpio's Extended. But this is the Alleluia guy, okay? The guy who's saying the Alleluia, you know, Alleluia, Alleluia. Okay, Sag, only you would get me to sing. All right, so definitely some Shrek vibes here, right? All right, Leonard Cohen, sorry, Canada, 1934 to 2016. Initially a novelist and poet, this shows, Leonard Cohen was 33 by the time he released his first album, and his unforgettable growl and maudlin lyrical genius established him as the eternal laureate of lovelorn introverts, self-proclaimed outsiders, and forsaken waifs everywhere. He regarded his songs as investigations into the hidden mechanics of love, sex, war, religion, and death. This sounds like you, Sag. Ironically sentimental, always striving for honesty and profundity, a merciless chronicler of delusions, disappointments, and bittersweet truths, Cohen inspired extraordinary devotion among his adoring acolytes and fellow artists. In his later years, he enjoyed a remarkable renaissance, his song Alleluia becoming a ubiquitous anthem of our age. Yeah, so, you know, with Leonard Cohen, you know, it talks about, like, he was 33 by the time he released his first album. So I feel like there's definitely some time energy, you know, where don't feel like you're so rushed to do something, right? It doesn't matter if you're younger than 23, past 23, right? He had some sort of renaissance. Like, everyone knows the song Alleluia. Everyone does. And it's lovely, right? It's not something that you'd probably listen to by yourself necessarily, unless you were really blue or watching Shrek. But, you know, it's a beautiful song, and I don't think anyone would deny that. And I think that that is kind of, you know, don't feel like everything has to be perfect, right? Enjoy the in-betweens of your, you know, the beginning of whatever your career is, whatever you're trying to create, and the type of boom that you have later in life, right? Enjoy all the time between. If you're always waiting for some sort of, you know, galactic event and you spend the middle time not living in the present, you never get there, right? We have Crazy Nights and Blue Skies. Okay, we did have some that wanted to come out. Perfectly Perfect, Elizabeth and the Catapult. So there is something, again, it's like wanting things to be perfectly perfect here. That's not the way that it has to be. We had Crazy Nights and Kiss, so I'm hearing that there was definitely some sort of crazy night that you had with someone very, very passionate. The best rock album. I feel like your world exploded here. Look at the earth here, right? It was like something rocked your world. And then Blue Skies, Noah and the Whales. So it does look like there is some blue skies. Of course, you see the explosion, but blue is the color of the throat chakra. And I really felt, you know, some heavy throat chakra. And we have Noah and the Whale. So, you know, there's two stories there. There's the Noah story, which is when Yahweh got so pissed and flooded the world, and it's just Noah and his data bank, right? Or his DNA data bank. And, you know, that was a weird time of testing humanity and kind of rude by Yahweh, if I might say. And the Whale, I'm definitely getting kind of like that Jonas energy of getting swallowed by the fish. So yeah, it feels kind of like divine torture, that you think you're being divinely tortured in some way is what I'm getting. Let's see, what is this philosophy that, whew, Eight of Chalices. Yeah, you think because you've read it multiple times and you think because you've experienced it, whether any kind of media, right? You felt it in your emotions. You feel like because, like 8, right? It's a cycle. So this is a cyclical emotional process that you've been going through of like things that you read, you know, media that you consume, movies, whatever it may be. It always kind of seems to be this way. Like everyone is just telling their story so perfect. It's like, no, actually, they're all probably disappointed in their work, like most artists are, right? You don't have to feel like you're telling it so perfectly that it's not worth being told, right? And it's like you compare yourself to all these different things, but you already know that you're going to be your biggest critic, right? We saw like Don't Be Your Own tribute band. It's like, well, you know, whew, One of Chalices. Yeah, you need to have that new beginning. You need to have an emotional offering that you make yourself. Is like, actually, I will be my biggest fan. And I will love myself. And I'm not going to, you know, make myself destroy myself just because I think everyone does a better job at me than explaining how they truly feel, right? Some things are ineffable. Some things cannot be truly expressed. And it's usually when your cup is overflowing, right? This emotion cannot truly be expressed. It can only be felt. And the beauty is finding different ways to do that. It does not have to be perfect. That is what is so beautiful about emotional expression. We have My Apocalypse, Escape the Fate. Dying is your latest fashion. Yeah, it does not have to be a depressive energy that you think this, right? I definitely got with the knife, like just some pretty down energy for Sag. I'm sorry. But my apocalypse, right? This is when world, you know, starts coming to an end, where everything starts crumbling. And as you can see, you know, she's all like dirty, beat up sort of energy. And it's like, yeah, well, I'm just gonna, you know, punk rock and destroy myself. That's my apocalypse. Like, that's how I'm going down. And you don't even think that it's beautiful to express how you're feeling and change it into something beautiful here. Like, escape the fate. It feels like you feel like this is your fate, that you can't escape it in some sort of way, which is not the case. It's not the case at all. All right, let's see what the light energy is. Ooh, coming out stuck. Yeah, we have dark energy, spirit tomb. This is very much kind of like the spirit going to the tomb. Again, I kind of get that, you know, darker kind of thinking about death energy, which makes sense. Venus is in Scorpio, so we can imagine that scorpionic kind of, you know, and especially because Sagittarius, you're the philosopher, so you're going to be going deep, deep, deep into the darkness about what you think about death and what is life about and things like that. But don't feel like it's unworthy to tell your story at the moment, you know, just because you feel like, you know, it's not compared to what other people have felt. It says nightmare and damage play. Ooh, so some of you might be living actually in a nightmare and damage play. What I'm hearing is a lot of things that have been happening in the dream realm have really been damaging you. These nightmares that you've been having. I would definitely be protecting yourself before you go to bed here, okay? Because it seems to be affecting you in the light during the waking day. It says, it was bound to a fissure in an odd keystone as punishment for misdeeds it did 500 years ago. So I feel like this is definitely some like karmic energy that is finally kind of coming out, right? It's the darkness that has come to light. So it does look like you're kind of at the end of your shadow work, because we do have the darkness and the light, but there is some still energy that needs to go away here. There still is some damage being done, but it does look like you are pretty aware of the spirit of the issue, so it seems. Also, if you have any sort of like old artifact that has shifted your energy ever since you got it, I would get rid of whatever that cursed item is. I want to remember me, A. I want to remember me, A. Okay, so this is by Yoko Ono, Blueprint for a Sunrise. It's just kind of like the blue skies, like you're really looking for some sort of blueprint to have some sort of sunrise in the sky to get out of the shadow. Like, oh, well, this is what it's like to get out of the shadow. No, Yoko Ono says no. I will also say, like, I want you to remember me, right? So, A. So, could be someone starting with an A, but I feel like it's more like, I want you to remember me, like, whatever. It's like you want someone else to remember how important or deeply you felt, but really you have to tell your own story rather than be getting the validation from somebody else, is what I'm getting. So we have Metapod, harden, in reverse. So yeah, your heart has not hardened because of this. Or wait, it is hardened. Okay, so for some of you, it's one way, for some of you, the other. But yeah, like, it has hardened your heart here. This is a heart chakra. Yeah, Metapod using harden. So, yeah, it has hardened your heart chakra because you have recognized this darkness here. It says, a steel hard shell protects its tender body. It quietly endues hardship while awaiting evolution. Yeah, you need to remember that this is part of your evolution, okay? Your heart chakra is meant to get hardened a little bit, is meant to create a protective barrier around it in order to, you know, protect it, right? It can... you are awaiting evolution. There is some sort of pupate state that you've been in, right? The darkness is in the light. It's still there and it's right there, but you're conquering it, right? It's about breaking this emotional cycle here. This philosophy that your story isn't worth telling in some sort of way. But yeah, so just know that this hardening of the heart, but what I'm getting is that it doesn't have to stay hard. Like, understand where you are and enjoy the time in between things. We have bronzer using iron defense. Yeah, it's really time to protect yourself in general, right? You have to build a protective layer around your heart so it can truly evolve and so that you have your true spiritual power. So yeah, it's really important to put up an iron defense. This is definitely learning how to protect your aura, protect your chakras, especially while you are sleeping. Very important. It says, implements shaped like it were discovered in ancient tombs. It is unknown if they are related. So yeah, implements shaped like it were ancient tombs. I definitely like spirit tomb. So I definitely feel how this is kind of getting you down a little bit. We have track 10, unknown. So this is a 3-minute thing. Check out in Shufflemancy. This might be a philosophical book for a little 3-minute message for you about this. But yeah, so, you know, there definitely is this kind of tomb energy of like, am I going to die? This. No, you're spiritually dying, and you will spiritually rebirth in your heart center very soon, right? We're going into the winter months. Yes, we go into the darkness, but you are, you know, like a frisbee kind of, well, it's not, well, yeah, it is like a frisbee. You will be, you know, brought the other way. And it is unknown if they are related. And I definitely feel that some family relationships are involved here. Also twin, like unknown if they're related. You might not know your twin yet. Guten Morgen. Ian Walkie. So yeah, so this is good morning. There is a new morning coming, but I'm feeling like for some of you, your twin might be German. It's weird because I was reading German last night in my dream. I didn't understand it. All right, let's see. How is this blocking the luck and abundance for our Sag? For our Saggies. So we have 2 that wants to come out, but you know what? I'll do it for you because it's your season, but I'm really trying to stick to 1. But let's get through this then, right? We have Hildegard von Bingen. Become like a feather on the breath of God, right? And it's in reverse. So it looks like you are not allowing divine intervention to just allow you to go with the flow. You might really be trying to hold on to something too much. Gain wisdom through the study of the unknown. Yeah, like the thing is, it's like you want to know everything, and accepting the unknown is really hard. That's why you go so deep and like, well, what about death? What about this, right? All these philosophical quandaries that, you know, have plagued mankind since the beginning of time. This is not something that you can put on your mind that you have to know everything, right? That is really going against divine plan, just being a human being. So give yourself a break on that. The soul is not in the body is in the soul. The body is in the soul. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's very true. And it looks like that's blocking your abundance, that, you know, you think that you're inside of a body, but instead, you know, you have an aura and your body is inside of that aura, and you know that you really need to protect yourself. So that is one of the reasons. Oh, and listen to this. Hildegard von Bingen. She is from Germany. 1098 to 1179. Damn. Okay, abbess, artist, composer, pharmacist, poet, preacher, saint, and theologian. The 12th century German nun Hildegard von Bingen was one of the most remarkable women of the Middle Ages, or indeed of any age. Damn. Again, any age. Blessed from early childhood with visions she claimed were from God, she also possessed a worldly, occasionally ruthless streak, becoming a confidant of bishops, popes, and princes. Yet Hildegard is probably best remembered today for her music. Drawing on the traditional incantations of devotional music, her compositions took the form of a single chant-like melodic lines known as antiphons. Rediscovered in the 1970s, her achingly beautiful, harmonious invocations of the sublime have become the cornerstones of the classical canon. So this is revolutionizing spiritual music, to be honest, is what I'm getting. So for those of you who are doing that, good for you. But yeah, this is definitely, you know, she was a badass, right? And, you know, I feel like, you know, she had visions from God is what she claims. And I feel like your divine visions, you feel unworthy of them. You feel unworthy of expressing what you have experienced in some way because it contradicts maybe beautiful things that you have seen, what others have done, or things like that. We have Bob Marley in reverse, so, you know, it's the 420 sort of energy, one love. So be careful if marijuana or any sort of substances is becoming a little bit too frequent, where it's substance abuse, not substance use. Because Bob Marley coming out in reverse, right? That's blocking your abundance. Or maybe you need some bud or one love. Yeah, okay, maybe it's that. For some of you, it will be one way, the other. You know, that's not me talking, that's Bob. All right, so attitude is a small axe can fell the tallest tree. So you know, there's something to be said about the, you know, the strength of the tree, a growing thing, and even just a small little thing can take you down. Like, I believe Bob Marley had like toe cancer or something. It was just something so weird and random that he passed away. Lifestyle is the fruits of Babylon are rotten to the core. Interesting. So, yeah, I guess like the fruits of Babylon are rotten. I really have nothing to say about that, but there is some sort of ancient energy here. You know, the fruits of Babylon, I'm not sure if they're actually referring to MJ for that, but, are rotten to the core. Maybe it's like everything else. Like Babylon is the world that, yeah, Babylon's the world that we've created outside of this one love. I don't really know much about Rastafarianism, to be honest, to speak for it. But, you know, I do know there's like Zion Lion, like, you know, you just love, 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 and that's how you get there, and kind of end of list. And anything else that is not the love of marijuana is like, all right, well, those are rotten to the core. And inspiration. Everything is holy. Everything that is holy is among us here on earth. Yeah, you know, Rastafarianism, I know that there definitely is like, you know, you can make anything sacred. And, you know, some people make that plant sacred. And, you know, that is how they bring heaven on earth, which is pretty interesting. But what I'm getting is it's like, you don't have the thing to worship, whether it's 420 or otherwise. You don't have the thing to worship that is manifesting your love here. It says, champion of equality, chronicler of Black people's struggle for freedom, sufferer, eloquent witness, and fearless enemy of downpressers and colonialists everywhere, Bob Marley remains a spokesperson for the oppressed and an icon of liberation decades. He put his life on the line to express the truth, and his music, an irresistible mix of righteous rebellion and physical and spiritual joy, continues to give a voice to the displaced people worldwide. Marley understood that the struggle for power might result in bloodshed, but he also maintained that if humankind failed to stand together, it would fail to stand at all. Yeah, I mean, he was definitely revolutionary, right? He was just pro-marijuana in a time where it wasn't really legal in a lot of places, and especially in America, right? There was a war going on. So definitely putting that risk out there. So it seems like what is blocking your abundance is really, you know, having the aptitude to kind of speak out, maybe because of something of society, especially when it comes to religion of the time and what spirituality means to you and how you are integrating that into your form of worship here. Let's see, what else? Okay, here there's a song. We Suck, Young Blood. Woof, your time is up. Oof. Okay. Well, there's a lot of messages there. It's Radiohead, Hail to the Thief. Yeah, so it definitely looks like there has been maybe some, like, turning, like, not, having like faith in people you once had faith in, and it might be people you listen to on the radio, finding out that they were thieves or bloodsuckers, so to speak. Let's see, and that their time is up, right? And that's another thing when it comes to fame, right? We suck young blood. People who do that, right? Their time is up. Their time is up. We're not allowing that in our world anymore, and you don't have to go through those systems in order to be famous, right? We're in the age of Aquarius, and I'm feeling you, Sag. Let's see. We have the Knave of Chalices. It's causing, this is my narcissism card. I'll be straight up with you, right? And this is Narcissus, who falls in love with his own reflection. And it's kind of that Kurt Cobain sort of thing. Like, you know, narcissism goes two ways. One is just overinflated ego, and the other is overinflated ego that wants to destroy itself because it's so mad that it feels that way and it loves itself that much. So you either absolutely obsess about yourself hating yourself, or you obsess about yourself loving yourself, right? And if you're going to be one way or the other, it's probably better to just unconditionally love yourself, right? Especially if you're looking for unconditional love from someone else. So it does seem that's blocking your abundance, is whatever your obsessive image is. What's the light energy? We have Spoopa using protect. Yeah, this is some sort of protection mechanism in your heart that is making things go a little bit cold here. It says, right now, Kush Aurora. So I guess, yeah, I mean, hey, right now, Kush Aurora. Doves have question too. So yeah, there's something that's happening to you right now. It's just making you protect your heart here. It says, the beaks of the birds can't even begin to scratch its stalwart body. To defend itself, it spews powder. So, you know, beaks of bird Pokemon can't begin to scratch. So what I'm getting is like, oh, I can't talk about anything like this because no one can, you know, even relate. They don't have the beak to it. Like, they wouldn't even be able to scratch my stalwart body with, you know, how they would be able to communicate. And that's a protection mechanism of the heart. And the thing is like, even if you think people aren't going to understand your music, I don't know why I just said music, understand, well, I guess music, but understand whatever you are trying to express, right? We have Alleluia coming out, which is a beautiful religious song. He's not really a religious guy, right? He's a poet. And then here we have Miss Von Bingen from, you know, 1032 or whatever it was, coming out with her bangers, revolutionizing, you know, way back when. All right, let's see what's the shadow. Ooh, we have Pikachu Nuzzle. So there's something that is really cute here that is part of your solar plexus chakra, okay? And what I'm getting is part of, you know, your solar plexus is what makes you you. It's part of the personality. It looks like part of this sort of either narcissism or self-hatred that is going on, and there's absolutely no shame to either of those, right? It's just, if you want to stay like that, go ahead. If you want to reprogram, you reprogram. So anyway, with this Nuzzle, there is some like energy that you have where it's like, oh, but it's kind of cute that I don't like myself. It's kind of cute that, you know, no one can get as deep as me. Yes, there is definitely some sort of appeal like that. We have Country Roads, Herm's House Band, the best summer holiday. So we have something about summer coming out, that something is really cute. We have Country Roads and Hermes House Band. Okay, so Country Roads is kind of take me back to the time. And I usually use Pikachu as a kind of like a child. So again, I do think that's inner child healing. Like, oh, it's cute that he doesn't like himself. And Hermes is the planet of communication. So I do think that Mercury is really going to be influencing you. You know, Mercury goes in Sagittarius. Not too far from now. So yeah, definitely some messages from Mercury coming out for you. It says, it raises its tail to check its surroundings. The tail is sometimes struck by lightning in this pose. So whenever it talks about, you know, tails, it's things from the past. So it's like you are using your past to check your surroundings. And if you, you know, had this sort of energy in the past, you're using it, you know, to go into the future. And the tail is sometimes struck by lightning in this pose. So it looks like, you know, whenever it's lightning strike, I always take it as kind of neural synapses kind of, you know, going off. And it looks like what you are doing is being struck over and over again in the same neural loop, kind of going back to old memories of whatever, kind of just, you know, either extreme self-loathing or extreme high on self. And it's like, oh, like no one will ever know, like, you know, my mind is the biggest enigma, and not getting anything out. I will also say, whenever this, like, this has come out multiple times, which has meant spanking, because it gets hit in the tail. So there could be something, some inner child healing that you're doing that has to do with being spanked and what that meant for you. So Sagittarius, again, happy birthday. If you are interested in going to the extended, where we look into how to bring about a new philosophy to get you out of this philosophy that does not serve you, and then take a look at how to bring in the luck and abundance, and then also some oracle cards. The link to the extended is in the description box below. If not, I am sending you so much love, a big hug, and a kiss on your third eye. Mwah.